Hey, welcome to Geek Investor, your resource for all things crypto. Today, we're going to talk about the Kucoin Spot Grid Futures Grid Smart Rebalance strategy that works very well. Here, I'm going to do an honest review. I'm not sponsored to do this video. I'm just sharing my experience and knowledge in hopes that will help you to make wiser decisions. If you want to sign up for Kucoin, which is free of charge to sign up, you can check out my description below or go to this link here, which is bit.ly to sign up, and also join our free Telegram for more tips on crypto as well. Take note before I continue, this is not financial advice. Do your own research and only invest what you can afford to lose. And this video is not sponsored by Kucoin or whatsoever. So diving into the platform, I'm going to share a lot of strategies and also lots of tips. So grab a pen and paper if you can, because it's going to be a long video. I'm going to explain lots of things that normally other YouTube videos or YouTubers will never explain to you because they are not so honest about all the findings online. I'm going to share with you basically what I do personally, how much I invest, which is not a lot, but you will learn a lot from my experiences as well and failures that I learned that will help you in your decision on how to trade. So Kucoin, in case you don't know, is a crypto exchange, so you can sign up. It's free of charge. It has been around for many months and years. So they have a few bots here, and the bots are free to use. So basically, we have the spot grid bot. You can see here we have the futures grid. We have the smart rebalance, DCA, and infinity grid. I'm going to only touch on these three because these are the three most popular ones. So in case you don't know what grid trading is and you're very new to it, this is basically what it does. Is that basically the bot, once it's created, you will create all these orders. This green line are all the orders. All right, so every few percent down you will set a order placement. All right, and every time when it hits the red line it will sell. So as the price of the coin, all right, moves, all right, the bot will buy every single level. So then maybe you set every 1%, so you'll buy every 1%. So you only make money. Take note, you only make money when the price goes up for a grid bot to make money. All right. So this is another scenario. Let's say the price, you started the bot at this scenario and the price start going down. When the price start going down, the bot will automatically buy as it goes down. It's called dollar cost average, which I talked about another thing about in my other video. You can learn more. So only, I say only when the price goes up, all right, and then it starts selling in the red line and then you make money. All right, are there scenarios where you only go one direction for a long period? Yes, you do. And that's where grid bot can lose money as well if you're not careful. So I'm going to show you some strategies how to avoid that as well. Okay, so when the price goes down, all right, what it's really doing is basically just do dollar cost average along the way as it goes down. So these three different bots does this buying and selling very differently. All right, these two is basically almost the same, but this one has leverage and this one doesn't have leverage. I'll tell you the pros and cons of every single bot here, and also which one I will recommend for you to start if you are a new beginner. All right, many people also, when I first started, I wish someone told me how much to start. So depend on for spot grid. Okay, for spot grid, all right, the minimum, all right, the minimum amount, all right, it depends on the coin you choose. Okay, so the minimum amount, all right, for any bot actually, all right, it depends on which coin you choose. I give you an example. This is a real example. Let's say I create a bot. All right, let's say I want to make a bot for spot grid. Okay, spot grid only makes money when the price goes up. Okay, only one direction means it's a long position. If I click custom, all right, normally I just click this. Okay, you'll fill in everything. All right, you will take note there's a minimum investment of $1,000 as you can see here. Okay, but if you choose, let's say, a different cryptocurrency, let's say we choose ICP for example. I'm not asking you to do ICP, but I just show you an example. You will notice the investment is lesser, 40. Why? All right, because when you create the grid orders, there's a minimum amount that the exchange allow you to trade. All right, so the minimum amount for this particular coin is much less. That's why you don't need so much investment. Let me show you something that not many YouTubers talk about. Okay, how can you reduce your? I mean, not everyone has $1,000. Okay, all right. So for me, I don't have so much cash to play with. All right. So how can you reduce this? All right. What you can do is you can reduce the number of placement order. So if you reduce this, sometimes what you will see, all right, is the number of minimum will be reduced. But in this case, we don't see that. All right. It still remains at 1,000. All right, let's try a different coin. All right, as you can see, I never prepare anything for this. All right, so Ethereum is the same problem. You need a minimum one, but you don't really. I wouldn't recommend actually doing grid bot. Just white spot grid for Bitcoin or Ethereum or Bitcoin. All right, so let me try to find a better example because I did this just recently, but I cannot find a good example. Let me just try to find. All right. Right, so sometimes what happens when you reduce I can't seem to get it to go down. Okay, wait, I don't know why. Let me see. Which one did I do? Let me see. I think I did was Solana, if I'm not wrong. Let me just check. Right, so you can see different currency has different minimum. All right, sometimes when you reduce the, I don't know why it doesn't. Okay, now it's started to go down. Okay, so now you notice when I fill in this, the minimum now is 120, as you can see here. All right, so let's say I don't want to invest 120, I want to reduce lesser. What can I do? You can reduce the number of orders. You notice the more I reduce, all right, the lower the number goes. Okay, but what are you really doing when you reduce? So normally what I do is I reduce all the way until to the minimum, which is 40, which will place 33 orders. And then it will be placed on the range from 67.66 to 131. Okay, what does this range actually mean? So let's jump into the trading view to better understand this so that you understand what you really are doing. All right, because it's important to understand what you're doing so that you know what numbers to put here. All right, so the range, the price range 67.66 means that the bot will buy, all right, from, which I don't know why no YouTuber explains this at all. All right, they just tell you like what number to put, and it's based on. But it's very important to understand what is happening. All right, so basically what happening here, if you put from 67.66 to 131, what you're doing, you're telling the bot to buy within this range. All right, this range here. All right, and then we need this range here is about close to 47%. All right, roughly there. Okay, so let's maybe more accurate will be around, so 47.95. Okay, it's very important to take note this number. Why? Okay, so once you know the difference in gap, okay, so what I will do is, okay, 47.95, all right, percent estimate. It's not the so super accurate. And then I have 33 orders. So what happens is every line that you see here, there will be an order. All right, there will be an order of 33 orders. There will be 33 lines in between here. All right, that's what the bot is actually doing. Okay, so you want to know the gap. All right, the gap in between. It's important to know the gap. That means the gap between the first order and the last order, second order. You can actually see the rough gap is around this percentage. All right, you can also take this 47.95 that we just did. All right, so you take the calculator. All right, this is just the estimate, it's not the accurate figure. So about 1.45%. So every time the price goes down, all right, by roughly 1.45%, the bot will do a buy order. All right, it will do a long, it will do a long position. All right, so as the price goes down, so let's say for example, I started. Okay, let's move it here. Let's do it here easier for you to understand. All right, so let's say I draw some lines. Okay, this is not accurate, obviously. Okay, I just estimate. Okay, it's just roughly like this. All right, so let's say we started the bot maybe around here. All right, somewhere around here. All right, as the price start to go down, okay, maybe a bit bigger so you can see. All right, as the price start to go down, so you hit this line, the bot will automatically buy. But as you can know, the price of the coin went down, so you're actually losing money. All right, so you go down, but as you go down further, all right, you do another order over here, and then go down further, you go another order here, all right, and then it only start to sell, all right, when it start to go up like this. All right, so sometimes you go up here, you will sell some of them. All right, how much you sell, it depends on what the bot programs to do. All right, but normally what it's doing, you can buy. All right, and then you only start making money when it start going upwards. Okay, in what scenario does your grid bot start losing money? All right, it will start losing money when it keep on going down constantly. All right, so for example, if I started my grid bot somewhere around, all right, maybe around in December, maybe around here, all right, I'll be losing money if I do a spot grid bot because the price is going down non-stop. Right, it's going down, 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 down until here. In fact, it went down quite a huge percentage, about 50% down. So basically, if you started your bot over here, all right, you will lose money for the entire, let's say from here to here is about 2 months. All right, 2 months you'll be losing money because you're waiting for the price to go up. The price here has to go above this line, all right, in order for your grid bot to start making money. So grid bot also can lose money if you did not plan your strategy well enough in advance. Okay, so but can you make money while the price is going down? The answer is yes. All right, but you cannot do it with spot grid. You only can do it with futures grid. Why? Because here, instead of, you notice the difference between spot grid and futures grid. The difference is that spot grid, you only can do a long position, means you only make money when the price goes up. All right, but in futures grid, what's so interesting, you can do long and short. All right, long means you make money when the price goes up. Short means you make the money when the price goes down. Okay, so if you have started a futures grid over here that starts here, every time the price goes down, all right, you actually make money in your short board. All right, so basically it's the reverse of what the spot grid is doing. So it really doesn't matter if the price goes up and down. The key thing here to understand is that you need to know when to do a long grid board and when to do a short grid board. That's something that not many YouTubers talk about. All right, so I'm going to share you some of my strategies, what I do. So now that you at least understand the difference between these two, you got some idea. But the problem is that for futures grid, all right, it's normally at a higher risk. Why do I say that? Because let's say go back to Solana. Okay, so let's say for example I want to do this. You'll notice that if I click custom, all right, normally I use the AI, I use custom, and then I click fill in everything. So the AI for the lines for Kucoin is pretty accurate most of the time. I would say most of the time. So and then it tells you this one normally I will totally ignore. Right, I will base on what I see on the chart. Okay, so you can see here the minimum investment is 365.145, which is kind of big for most people. So if I want to reduce further, all right, you'll notice if you reduce further, the minimum is around 50. Normally we try to aim $50 lah, huh? So it's about $50. All right. But what actually, if you want to have, it's always advisable, right? In grid board, regardless it's spot or futures, always have the most as many orders as you can. If you can have 100, that would be ideal. All right. But of course, the more orders you have, the more investment you have to put in, because the board need to have the money to do the orders when it has to. Okay, in this one way to reduce the investment needed is to reduce the number of, or you can reduce the price range. If you notice, if you reduce the price range, let's say reduce to a smaller range, all right, you will notice the minimum investment goes smaller. Why? Because there are less lines there and less orders there, so that's why it goes down in investment. All right. Then also take note, if you're using futures grid, there's this thing called leverage. All right, I do not suggest you to go beyond 2 or 3x. All right, because the higher your leverage, the more dangerous it is that your capital will be gone. So stick to 2 or 3, that will be good enough. You'll notice if I change this to 4, all right, a lot of people don't realize this. As you increase the number, this number, all right, the profit number increases. Let's say I try 10, all right, and then you'll notice the number really drastically increase. You can see here almost 3 times more. All right, but because it's 3 times more means your chances of losing money is also 3 times more as well. Okay, so take note of that. It has that kind of effect on your positions. Okay, so now that you understand that you can make money when it's in the long, and you also can make money in the short, the key thing to understand is that how do you decide what is the optimal price range that you set, all right, to help you make money, and how do you know should you do a long or you do short? All right, generally, if you want to be safe, try to stick to spot as much as you can and try not to touch futures unless you want to do a short grid board. Then you touch futures. That means you want to make money when the price goes down. Try not to do the down because the down is more riskier. Futures is more riskier than spot. All right. So what happened here is that now, let's say for example, how do I determine if should I do a long board or a short board? All right. So what you do is you click on the daily time frame, okay, and what you can do is that you look at the EMA 200. So this little line here, you can see that the EMA 200. If I double click this, all right, you can see the RSI as well, and also the MACD. All right, what are all this about? You can see my other videos. I will explain quite in depth, all right, how to get all these indicators and all that. All right, so basically what happened here, here you can see that there is a overbought right now for Solana on over the daily time frame, and then you want to see also the weekly time frame. All right, it doesn't really show much. All right, but for 4 hour also overbought. So when you see this, there's a high chance, all right, that the price will go down because it's overbought. Okay, generally, all right. But because if you look carefully at the MACD, all right, the MACD also give you some indicator, all right, whether is it going up or going down. So currently right now it is going upwards. All right, so I believe it will go up. Okay, that's what I believe. So actually, personally, I started my grid board around here myself personally. Okay, and I believe it will cross up upwards. All right, that's why I did this, because for the longest time, if you look at the chart generally, it has been going down for a really long time. Okay, so normally before you decide, all right, I normally look at the day chart, and what I will do is you can start drawing lines. So you can draw your trend line. All right, draw a trend line just like this. All right, so generally this is a trend line. All right, you connect all the lines like this. All right, then you draw another trend line on the RSI. This is the RSI. Okay, just like this. Okay, so you notice you cross somewhere around here. All right, and it's down here if you look at this. All right, and then it start going up, but it start going down again. Okay, so this trend line is important because we want to know is if the price is going to go up. This is what you want. If you think it's going to go up, all right, then you do a long grid board. All right, the reason why I started here because I felt there was actually what made me the decision to do a grid board to start long here. It was this thing that I saw. All right, I saw this hitting the resistance line twice, right? One here and one here. Normally when this happens, normally it will go up. Normally, I would say normally, not all the time. All right. Normally if you see, like for example, if you look at this one here, if this one and then it goes even further, normally when you see this, there's a high chance it will go down even further. All right. Obviously what we want to see is a higher high, all right, in the next one. All right, when you rebound, and then we know that's a confirmation is going upwards. That will be the new trend. But before even start, I already started my long board over here way before. All right, we actually got the confirmation. I took the risk lah. All right, that's my personal risk. All right, so I normally use the daily chart. All right, and look at the EMA below, EMA and the MACD and the RSI to determine. I make a judgment call. All right, whether should we do a long board or a short board. You know, interestingly, right, the MACD also give you some hints. All right, if you look at the daily, if you notice, if you look at the daily, all the while it has been below for the longest time. All right, for a very long, and you can see there's a cross. All right, over here, the green little cross over here is crossing up. All right, so there's a high chance. All right, that it will bounce up the EMA, and if I start to see, all right, if I start to see the price cross the EMA 200, I'm quite confident it should be going towards the uptrend. All right, but before that happens, I already started, all right, my long board. All right, so I hope that I give you some idea of the strategies I use to decide. So now that you know, is you have decided it's a long, how do you decide the range? How do you decide the range? So normally when you set the range, what you're going to do is to set a range for, let's say, Solana, for example, in this video. All right, so I will draw a line somewhere maybe around here. okay, and somewhere around, all right, here, all right. Of course, you can put all the way higher. Take note, bigger your range, you need to put more money in order to place more orders. So the smaller the range, the less money you need. So let's take note of that. But of course, if you can have many orders as you can, as many as 100 if you can, so that you reduce the risk. Take note, the more orders you have in your grid, all right, the less risk you have, but you need to put more money. Okay, that's the disadvantage. Okay, so now that I decided to do a long, the next problem is, what is the range? You can either follow the range, all right, that Kucoin has given you. So normally it's quite accurate. Okay, so let's see what's the range that they recommend. All right, so it's 67.66. Okay, 67. So you go and draw. All right, 67.6. It's always good to draw so that you know roughly when it's going to stop. All right, when it's going to stop. All right, so it's recommending from here to here. I would say that is pretty okay. It's not too bad. Right, so take note, the moment the price of the coin goes beyond this line, the bot will stop functioning. You need to adjust your range. All right, or the moment the bot goes below this line, you stop functioning. So it only trades between here. You're making money only when, as it goes down, as you see here, it's go down, 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 and the price go up. All right, it start to sell, 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 and that's how you make money using a grid bot. All right, so it's a very good long-term strategy for those who are lazy, and don't want to monitor this. Okay, so basically, grid bot and future bot works this way. All right, another thing that nobody talks about, hardly anyone talks about, is the smart rebalance. I recently started to play with this. Okay, and I want to show you what I've done personally myself. So this is my personal one. All right, what I did is something not many have thought of doing, is I actually rebalance between USDT, all right, and another currency. So what am I doing here? Okay, is that basically what I'm doing is that, all right, I'm telling the bot, okay, one thing I actually personally prefer to use smart rebalance over spot grid that I discover. There are two ways to use smart balance. All right, you can use it as a grid bot, or you can use it as a time-based bot. All right, let me explain what's the difference. Okay, because I know it's kind of confusing. This is a bit advanced. So normally when you click rebalance, all right, when you click rebalance here, all right, you give you all this, but do not use the recommendation, because each recommendation you have to put a lot of money in some of the cases. All right, and some of them do work, some of them don't work, and up to you want to try or not. But what you can do, you can custom. All right, so you can choose your coin. So let's say I choose the coin that I choose. Okay, so I choose this. Okay, and then I choose one stable currency, which is the USDT. Okay, so what I normally do here is I will set this to 50%. All right, but now that I learned this in a better way, actually I'll prefer to set around 40%, and this one set it more. Okay. Okay, so you notice the minimum investment is only $40. I put 40 here. So when you start create, right, what it really does is that it will buy $40, all right, worth of these two assets. 40% of $40 in USDT, and 60% of it on this coin called FIL. Okay, so what happened is, how does this rebalance work? I found it very interesting because I didn't realize it can do a lot of things. Right, you can actually do a grid bot based on percentage, or you can base on time. Right, you choose either one, and this is very powerful. Why is this powerful? Well, and let me explain based on percentage first, then you understand. Okay, so how does percentage works? Okay, so unlike the grid bot, what it does, it only can buy from, let's say if you set the range, all right, from here to here, right? So that's what the grid bot does. All right, you only buy from here because that's the range you set. All right, but rebalance is different. All right, rebalance, what it does is that every time the price goes up or goes down, all right, or in percentage that you set. So let's say if I set here, let's say 5%, all right, 5%. If I set 5%, means every time when the price of this particular coin, let's say I started here and it start going up around here 5%, right, the coin will actually automatically buy more of that particular coin that I set, which is the FIL coin, and try to rebalance it. So we use the money from here, right, to offset to buy more of this coin. Okay. Sorry. It should be selling, not making. Okay, when the price goes up, confused. Okay, when the price goes up for this particular coin, all right, goes up, let's say 5%, it will sell 5% of your value of FIL coin and transfer it over to USD to balance it at 60/40. Okay, so whenever the price goes up, the rebalance bot will start selling and make you profit for your FL coin. Okay, when the price goes down, what happened? When the price goes down, I set at 4%. So every 4%, all right, let's say here, all right, you will start using the USD, the 40% USD to buy more of this coin. So essentially, you're doing a grid bot of every 4% down. All right, it will look something like this. 4%. Okay, roughly like this. I mean estimate. So you got some idea. All right, so every 4%. So if you count, starting from here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will buy 5 times if you started from this line here. Let me draw a straight line here, easy for you to see. All right, so you start from here, then maybe you start selling when it's over here, roughly around here. So you start buying. Where does it buy? It will use the balance from this 40%, right, to buy 4% worth of FIL coin. So by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, when it start going up, you start selling, and transfer it over to the USDT. Essentially, it's still a great bot. All right, because of the way I choose my assets. All right, I choose a USDT. This one, the price will never go up and down. Let's say you got $40 of USDT, it will always remain at $40. It will not go up and down in value. But this one, it does. So that's the reason why I put a stable coin there, because I want it to automatically buy and sell this particular coin that I'm interested to invest in to make money from it. So I'm using in this strategy. All right, so I set 5%. All right, if I set 5, so what is, if you want to base on percentage, all right, you only can set, unfortunately, only up to 5%, which is quite small. So every time there's a price difference of 5%, all right, the coin will buy. But if you look carefully at this coin, the coin can easily go down as much as 27%, all right, within a span of 8 days. All right, this 8 days. Okay, so how do you determine, all right, how much buffer should you give? Is you look at the longer time frame. Okay, if you look at the longer time frame, okay, take note, rebalance only can work for long position. All right, cannot work for short position. I mean, you cannot make money when it's going down. You only make money when it goes up. So if you started a rebalance here, you will definitely lose a lot of money. All right, if you start around maybe even here, all right, because from, let's say you started from maybe around here, right, you will lose 67%. All right, so if you take 69, sorry, 69, you divide by 5%, you will buy 13 times, all right, as you go down. All right, you only make money when you go up. So if you did a rebalance starting here, you will lose money because it keeps going down. You're hoping the price will go up, all right, then you start making money again. Okay, so for rebalance, it only works for long. It does not work for short. If you want to make for a short, the only way is to use futures grid. I hope that clears that out. Okay, so how do you determine the percentage? For me personally, what I do is I will see the daily. All right, I will see the daily. All right, then I'll determine again the same strategy I use and apply the grid, spot grid. All right, am I thinking this price will start going upwards or going downwards? Okay, so if I think it's going to go upwards, then I'll start positioning my grid bot at the correct. A lot of videos don't talk about, looking at the chart and deciding is it going, because you cannot just anyhow put. Imagine if I started my spot grid bot here, you definitely will be losing money all the way down. Okay, and then you will panic and wondering what is happening. Okay, or unless you start a short, but normally most people will do a spot grid bot. Okay, so let's say for example, how do you determine the percentage? All right, the percentage you want to set. All right, so you need to measure how much it can go down. Okay, so in this particular coin, it goes down, but not all coins go down 30%. If you look carefully, if you look, let's say at Bitcoin, okay, Bitcoin only can go down as little as also 20%. So high. Okay, so it's pretty big, but not as big as that's not the coin that I just show you. All right, so certain coins more, certain coins less. Okay, the reason why it's so big anyway, because I use a daily chart. All right, I use a daily. You can use daily or 4 hourly, up to you. To determine. For me personally, I use daily to be safe. So at least I got rough idea. Like if I started the grid board here, how long do I need to wait for it to start going up? Which is 15 days. So down from this period from here, you will actually buy if it's 5%, you will buy 4 times. All right, then I will start making money 4 days later because the price start going up. Okay, so that will give you some idea what is the percentage you want to select. Right, what is the rebalance by time? All right, time is even more interesting. All right, it's based on, let's say if I set 4 hours, for example, 4 hours. So you go here and click on 4 hours. All right, what the bot is really doing is every candle, I say again, every candle that appears on the 4 hour chart, the bot will automatically rebalance. All right, will automatically buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. Make sure the position is always at the percentage that you set. So instead of now ordering through certain orders of the line, instead of ordering it like all these lines that I told you all by percentage, is now buying based on time. Okay, there's a lot of pros and cons. All right, again, you will make a lot of money when the price start going up. All right, but you also will lose more money when the price start going down. So if you started based on time, all right, instead, that means you select time here, all right, instead of percentage. All right, what happens every hour, every candle, that means here you will buy Bitcoin, here you will buy Bitcoin, here you will keep on buying, every hour you buy. All right, the only moment you start making money is based on this chart. All right, maybe it's after about 7 days when the price start going up. But by the time it reach around here, your balance for your USDT may be really very very low. All right, and also your money that's over here will start going down. You use both the currency, use the this coin and this coin to keep on buying, all right, buying and selling, all right, the coin. So that's pretty risky, all right, for time, all right. So normally if you're using this strategy that I just shared with you, I would highly suggest you go by percentage only and don't go by time, okay, because percentage you can control when the bot buys at a certain percentage. So let's say if I see this, right, I see 18%, right, I can set like maybe 4 or 5, then I will know the bot only will buy like 3-4 times. If you go by time, means every 4 hours you will buy and buy and buy and buy non-stop. Okay, that's quite scary lah. Okay, so another one, you can go by day. All right, you notice you can select by day. You can select like every 1 day, 2 days. All right, this is pretty safer. Right, 28 days also can. But if you choose, let's say by day, all right, 1 day for example. All right, so let's say you start. All right, you start, let's say somewhere around maybe you start the wrong time. You start here. Okay, you start here. So every 4 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, you will buy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, you will buy. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, you will buy. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, you will buy, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Regardless whether go up or down. All right, you will buy and sell, buy and sell, buy, and you will rebalance. All right, so that means if you based on this strategy, all right, you are basically dollar cost averaging every 4 days automatically. All right, and then maybe you will start making money only on maybe 1.5 months later based on this chart that you see here. Okay, around there. So you always want it to rebound. All right. So that's another thing about how to use it. But I recommend using this instead of that. So I found this very interesting. So personally, what I did, use Rebalance for. I also rebalance my current assets. Like currently, I bought some H bar, ICP, and XRP. So while I'm holding it and hoping for H bar to go up in price, I actually do a rebalance of all the three assets. So what this does is that every time when H bar goes up in price, it will sell the H bar and buy ICP and XRP, will transfer over and rebalance it automatically. So essentially, if any of this goes up in price or all of them go up in price together, all right, I'll actually get more coins eventually. So this helps to increase your assets. All right, but take note, you also can lose money when the price can going down. All right, the reason why I dare to do this currently now, because I believe all right, if you look at the Ethereum signs, all right, the Ethereum has been, based on the recording of this video, the Ethereum has been going down constantly for a very long time. You can see it's been going down for almost close to 2.5 months. Okay, and if you draw the trend line, all right, if you draw the trend line, all right, you can easily see that it's slowly starting to break the trend line upwards. All right, it's now not confirmed that's going up yet. It may still continue to go down and then bounce up again. All right, that's also possible. We do not know. The only time I will feel confident to say it's going up when it cross this line here and this line here. And generally, when Ethereum start to go upwards, all the altcoins will also go up together with it. That's the reason why I started a lot of spot grid boards and rebalance right now as the recording of this video. All right, if it's somewhere around here, I will definitely will be very afraid. All right, to start any grid board or maybe over here. All right, you can, but maybe you set your range shorter because you don't know when it will actually start going down again. Okay, so I hope these tips will help you in understanding how Gridboard works and how you can use them creatively. All right, so go and check out the link which is below the description here, or go to this link here, and also sign up for our free Telegram where I update basically my latest findings and strategies that I'm actually looking into. I hope you find this video useful. Do consider subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, and also comment below, what you think of this video, so I can improve my sharing and also help. Hope my tips will help you in helping you to make more wiser decisions in making money online as well. All right, God bless and have a great day.